Hi, so today I'm talking about how to punch your irons out low, how to hit them properly, how to get onto your left foot in the downswing, get your hips and legs out of the way, clearing the left side and really punching down on those irons and de-lofting them like the tour pros do. Hitting them a long way, hitting them lower, less up in the air, not wasting all the speed up in the air with a high launch and with too much loft on the club. So the most success I've had teaching throughout the years with this is to use this method, and it's very, very simple. I'm not a fan of massively technical ideas. I don't think it's very easy for the pupil to actually put it into practice, and I prefer concepts that you can easily replicate once you're out on the course or on the practice ground, things that are easy to remember and easy to feel and imagine yourself doing. So what I'm talking about here is the fact that higher handicappers, and the main reason for this is because they aim a long way right, come over the top, create a steep impact, don't get the body through, all sorts of reasons. So you need to be aiming properly for this to all be relevant to you. But what you'll find on a high handicap swing is somebody who comes into impact with a lot of loft on the club. So when I'm down at the swing room, you'll see on an average 7-iron, somebody who's off a high handicap might have about a 25-degree launch, as high as that, or sometimes higher. And then you'll see somebody off a really low handicap and they'll have about an 18-degree launch. So there's quite a big difference there. There's a lot less loft on that club when it comes into impact when you properly strike it. And one of the keys to doing that is getting onto your left foot when you hit the ball. So the sequence in the swing should look something like this. You set up with 50-50 weight distribution, you slightly weight up the right side, and then on the way through you start down with the legs, the hands come in behind, and if you're getting everything right, by the time you hit it, there'll be more pressure in this left foot. And that's key. There's a lot of people won't ever achieve that in their golfing career. But one of the best ways I've found to allow that to happen, to be hitting on your left foot, is simply to try and hit the ball as though you're trying to hit it low. So all you're trying to do is as though you're trying to punch it under a tree, punch it under a bar that you imagine is a certain height in front of you, and keep that ball low, keep the loft off the club face, because most people will come into the ball through various means, aiming right over the top, and you will get this sort of look. So actually when they're hitting that, there's actually quite a lot of pressure in this right foot, not in the left, or at best it might be 50-50. It will not be biased towards that left side, which is what you want. If you haven't ever hit a low shot before, you don't know what I'm talking about, then it's just slightly more difficult. But if you've done low shots in your time and you've tried to squeeze one under a tree and do that sort of thing, then you'll be doing some of the things that the top players do on a normal shot. And this is what you have to just work towards, is for this feeling, if you're a high ball hitter, if you're a 25-degree loft launcher, you're hitting the ball up more than you are forward, and you're wasting that energy. So you need to hit it down to hit it further. So if we set up, and there are different ways of achieving this, I would generally get people to set up standard and do their normal swing and just try and get the feeling through impact, but there are other ways you can feel this a bit better as well. So if I hit one now and I try to keep the loft off through impact, you see my follow through is a bit shorter, and that's me trying to hit it low. I've tried to keep the loft through impact. I'm imagining it not letting the club face look up to the sky. So if you add loft, you're letting that club face look up to the sky as you're coming through. So your weight's staying in the middle or on the back foot, and the club's swinging up. So no wonder the ball goes high. But if you think about trying to keep the loft off that iron through the shot, right through impact, then you force yourself onto this left foot. You actually also force your body to turn out of the way, which is what you want. You always see that in the top swings where you're talking about clearing the left side. Well, trying to keep the ball low allows that to happen. That tends to get forced upon you whether you like it or not. So it is a very, very good image and practice tool to try and punch out low shots. And you've seen Tommy Fleetwood with that low, punchy, short looking follow through. He's in a great position. I mentioned earlier, if you're struggling to get to that position because maybe you're aiming right, or you have so much muscle memory that you can't get rid of this upward hitting mechanism at impact. And I've seen that happen with certain people, and this is the only time I'll ever tell you to do this, and it is just to feel what it's like hitting on the left foot. And that is just hit some shots where you stay on the left foot and keep your weight there the whole swing. But this is purely a drill. I wouldn't get people to do this as their finished swing. So I'm leaning a little bit onto this left side. I'm going to try and keep my weight on that left side and then try and keep the loft off through impact. I've punched that out even lower. The only issue with that is that if you were to swing like that as your full swing, you're not getting any real weight shift, so you're robbing yourself of some power. So to really hit it far, if you look at any of the slow motions of the top players, they get slightly behind the ball, and then the weight is able to move through towards the target to a certain extent. So just to recap, normal setup, all I'm trying to do is hold the loft off that club. I'm trying to stop that club climbing to face the sky. I don't want it to look at the sky. I want it to keep the loft off all the way through, as far as I can, as far into the swing as I can. It will eventually come up, but let's try one last one to finish. Punching it low through impact. And again, the cut will follow through because I'm trying to keep that loft off. So go and try that, see how you get on, practice it, and it might just start to filter into your full swing, and you'll be starting to strike those irons a bit better, get them going out a bit lower and a bit further. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I'll get back to you. And again, thanks for watching. And if you've made it to the video and you haven't subscribed already, it'd be great if you could subscribe. Thanks very much.